Hello. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Uh, for those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Christian Shamar. For those of y'all that do know me, thank you for clicking on this space once again, and welcome to Ep.6 of the Shamar Experience. Like I said, it's been a minute. Let me just clip up real quick. Just because I got a little Italian ice cup, no sponsorship, so we're going to turn it the other way because they ain't paying me for this. I just want to eat it. For those of y'all that don't know, I am currently in Sarasota, Florida. I am doing a internship where I will be spending it's already been a week, so I'll be spending the next 9 weeks here, basically the entire summer. Beautiful weather. Currently today it is Memorial Day. It's about 87 degrees. I went outside earlier, got a run in, went to a little local beach. That'll all be in the vlog on my main channel. Yeah, man. Feels good to be in front of the camera talking to y'all. I ain't done it in a minute. Back here shooting a pod. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Keep up with me at whereiscse. whereiscse. No spaces. You'll find me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I don't really use Snapchat as much, but Instagram, TikTok is where you'll find me. You can also type in Christian Shamar, Christian, space Shamar, exclamation point. That is where you will find me on the YouTubes. Sorry, somebody just walked past, kind of threw me off. I never usually have this open. There's like a little balcony right here. I never usually have it open. Also, make sure you tap in with my brand page for my clothing brand. Make sure you go to Instagram and type in at Imagine Potential, IMAGINEPOTENTIL on Instagram. That is where you'll keep up with all my clothing that I will be dropping. And also, make sure you guys tap in with that as well. Sign up for the EMS listing if you are interested in seeing and purchasing some of my clothes. Once again, thank y'all for clicking. Follow, find, and support me. I'm going to get into today's topic. That is the topic of acceptance. Acceptance is... Actually, let's backtrack a little bit. Acceptance. Why did this come up in my life? This came up for one main reason, which was I just binge watched the Netflix show Forever. It's probably the biggest thing on the internet right now, on the black space, on black Twitter, the black internet, the black atmosphere of the internet. It's probably the biggest thing out right now. Besides Streamer University. Shout out Streamer University. That show was dope. We'll talk about that more in current events. But Forever. After watching Forever, why did I want to talk about it? For a very, very simple reason. It made me think a lot about my high school experience and who I was as a person when I was in high school. For those of y'all that don't know, I started off my high school career at Mount Carmel High School, which is a private Catholic school, Chicago, Illinois. I went there for a year. I absolutely hated it. My mother was doing what she thought was best, which was putting me in a school so where I could succeed. And academically, Mount Carmel was excellent. I learned a lot of different things academically. It was socially where it hurt. I just felt like I wasn't necessarily, it just wasn't the right space for me socially. Academically, it was an amazing institution. just not socially. So I transferred to Evergreen Park Community High School my sophomore year. And that's where the story really takes us. Because after watching the series Forever, I realized that when looking at the relationship, for those of y'all that don't know, the show is based around the high school relationship of these two characters, one named Justin and the other named Keisha. And just the trials, tribulations, the good and the bad that go into being a relationship that young. And one thing that stuck out to me was Justin himself. And I realized how much I related to Justin. Watching that show was a hard watch. It was a difficult watch because in many aspects, in many areas of myself, of my life in high school and of my high school relationship, I was Justin. I was nerdy. I was unconfident of myself. I was making my girlfriend my world, my ex, excuse me. We're not together anymore. I clinged on to her. I made her my world, and I was not the best partner. I was young. I was still learning. I was still figuring out who Christian was. Who did Christian want to be? Some days Christian wanted to be a student. Other days Christian wanted to be a musician. Other days Christian wanted to be a graphic designer. Other days Christian wanted to be a football player. Other days he wanted to be a wrestler. Other days I wanted to be a YouTuber, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was lost. And the only thing that remained constant during that time was my girlfriend, who we'll just call, for the sake of the story, that's just what we'll keep calling her. She was the one constant in my life, and I did plenty of things to I did a lot. And without putting out my business or her business, the one thing I wish I would have done the most, the one thing I always look back on that I did was not keep the relationship between the two of us. There was a lot of outside forces there was a lot of outside forces in the relationship. There was a lot of things that personally people shouldn't have known, to just put it simply. People shouldn't have known what was going on. And I messed it up badly. And in that instance, I made her feel like Keisha, where everybody knew her business, everybody knew something that she had did, and it's not a good feeling. Then I didn't understand it. Back then, I was just like, oh, she's mad at me. She broke up with me. I was depressed. I was heartbroken. I was shitty, for lack of a better term. I was shitty. Because this young lady, to put it quite frank, my mother was the first woman that I loved, and this girl was the first woman that I fell in love with. She was my first. She was the first. Cut that out. She was the first woman that I fell in love with. And when you don't realize what being in love is like, it is a very strong, powerful, scary emotion. It is a very powerful feeling. because it's you will do anything for this person to make them happy, to just be around them. And in that time, I lost who I was. And for so many years, to keep it quite frank, she blocked me. After what I did in high school, she blocked me. Yeah, it's truthfully and honestly, it is a feeling that didn't feel good. The aftermath, and it made me realize I had to focus up, much like Justin. After breaking up, I was sad, I was depressed. I did not see anybody else that was in front of me. There was a beautiful scene in the show where Justin and his father were talking, and his father basically told him that the reason why it hurts so bad to not be with Keisha, who was Justin's girlfriend, is because he found out what love was. He found a boundary. He found a place of himself that was worth protecting. And that just because it was easier to not talk doesn't mean it was the right decision. As a man, this is what he said, as a man, nothing should be easy. As a man, you have to go through the fire to figure out how he is, to figure out who he is on the other side of the heat. If I'm misquoting that, excuse me, but that's pretty much the paraphrase. And unlike Justin and Keisha, me and this girl never got back together. But I should have gave a warning, but spoilers. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've seen Forever. And if you haven't, go watch it. Great show. Hard watch, but great show. Where Justin had the idea of going to Howard and being close to Keisha. I had the same idea. I was not originally supposed to go to Bradley. I wanted to go to U of I, University of Illinois, and be close to her. But what I realized is that I had to find my own path. I had to stop using her as a crutch. I remember something that she said to me to this day, and it was so powerful, and it helps me live my life now. She said that as your partner, it's not my job to make you happy. It's not my job to give you meaning. What my job is as your partner is to add to your happiness, not be the reason you're happy, but add another reason for you to be happy. Not be your reason for meaning, but add to your reasons. And that stuck with me to this day, and I think that's a big component of why, as a man, the man I am now, I've had so many. It's been hard for me to accept a woman in my life on a serious level, because to be quite frank, that acceptance of not worrying about, how do I want to phrase this? I know what I'm trying to say. I am a chronic overthinker, so every single little thing I do, I overthink it. And I think that is a big reason why I struggled with the acceptance of losing that young lady at that age, because I was overthinking, what if I would have done this differently? What if I would have done that? What if I didn't say this? What if I didn't do this? What if I did do this? X, Y, Z. And the truth of the matter is, you can't think like that. Life is life. It's going to keep going. If you think about what you did yesterday and how you could change it, you'll never be able to move on to tomorrow. You are closer to tomorrow than you are to yesterday. I want y'all to remember that. You were closer to tomorrow than you are to yesterday. And that's something that I struggle with myself. Whenever I do get romantically involved with a young lady, I have to remind myself not to overthink, not just be you. Don't try to work too hard to work around things XYZ, because you'll never figure out who you are if you're micromanaging yourself. You'll never be able to experience the beauty that's in front of you if you are constantly thinking about what you could have done differently with the beauty that you had before. Keisha's mother said this to her: what God takes away, he gives back the same. He replaces with the same or better. Whatever God took away from you is not going to be your best. And pair that with acceptance. That's the beauty of it all. God took away a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a partner, a job, a situation, anything. It's because he's replacing it with better. He's going to give you better. He's going to give you more. Your plan might be a dozen roses, for example. What if God's plan is 1,000? Things like that. So when it comes back to acceptance, you have to realize that there is no turning back. What I did is what I did. I could regret it. I could be proud of it. I could wish I didn't do it. I could wish I would have done something more or something less. But the truth of the matter is you can't go back. And you have to be able to accept that fact, accept that I messed up. I did this. Or I did a good thing, XYZ. With that particular young lady, the one from high school, it took me a while to accept that fact that I messed up. I did something wrong. So what am I going to do to change it moving forward? What am I going to do tomorrow to where yesterday will never happen again? Acceptance, accepting the fact that you made a mistake and that's okay. Don't make it again. Accepting the fact of you did this. You didn't like the result. What are you going to do differently? You know what I'm saying? Like they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. We're not insane. I know I'm not. I know my viewers not. And if you are, you're probably not watching me. You're probably in like a padded room somewhere. But, okay, we did this. That didn't go the way it was planned. What are we going to do differently to make sure that the next thing we do goes the way it planned? Or this worked out. This went good. Let's keep doing this. And the moment this don't work out, switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But at the end of the day, none of this happens if you don't accept it. And the biggest thing I could give with the acceptance part is that you have to accept the fact that you don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's the scariest thing in the world. For me personally, I am somebody that overthinks, tries to overachieve, at times can overreact. And I micromanage myself so much that I want to know everything to the last minute detail. And as I've gotten older and as I've started peeling back layers and things and stuff like that, I had to realize that you have to accept the fact that you don't know what's going to happen. And you have to accept the fact that whatever does happen, whether good or bad, you got to live with it. And when you figure that out, when you accept that, when you learn that, when you get that ingrained into you, you'll be a much happier person. I know I am. I know I have been since I started doing that. And it's a gradual thing. It's not overnight you're gonna accept everything just like that. Nah, that's not how that should happen. It's gradual. It takes time. And that's the beautiful thing, is that being closer to tomorrow as opposed to yesterday, you ain't got nothing but all the time in the world. You got all the time to do better than your last. I'll be back to you after this quick commercial break. Hey y'all, I just want to apologize for cutting this pod episode short. When I had paused the camera, the receiver and the microphone stopped picking up. Super sorry about that. Literally had about like 15 to 20 minutes of extra footage where all the visuals got picked up but none of the audio. And I mean, when you are doing a pod by yourself, you run into technical difficulties like this. Just going to try to learn from it in the future. Once again, super sorry about that. I literally had current events talking about the Miss Smith case in Atlanta, Georgia, where she was being held in a hospital so the baby can be safely extracted while she had remained brain dead for over 10 weeks. Talked about the updates in the P. Diddy case, talked about the Knicks and the Pacers, the OKC Thunder and the Timberwolves, and I talked about the music I was listening to at the moment. So literally like another 15 to 20 minutes of pod. And none of the audio got picked up. So I don't want to half-ass it. I don't want to give you guys a bad pod. So I just wanted to explain why there's nothing afterwards. Make sure you all like and follow. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social medias at whereiscse, whereiscse. Also, make sure you follow the brand page at Imagine Potential, IMAGINEPOTENTIAL. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Shamar Experience with Christian Shamar, and make sure you subscribe to the main channel at Christian Shamar with the exclamation point, man. New videos coming out soon. Once again, I just want to apologize. Episode 6 got cut short. Episode 7 going to be in full effect. Going to work out some of the kinks. And yeah, I love y'all. Make sure y'all imagine y'all potential, turn it into reality. And with that, I'm out. Peace.